Hello everyone, this is Satish Kumar. I am lecturer in Electronics and Communication Engineering at Government Polytechnic, Masapatang, Hyderabad. We are dealing with analog communication subject. This is one of the important subjects in Diploma ECE of Telangana State. This is third semester subject. In analog communication subject there are 6 chapters. We completed 4 chapters in video lessons. The first chapter is Basics of Communication System and Noise. The second chapter is Analog Modulation Techniques. The third chapter is Transmitters and Receivers, and the fourth chapter is Wave Propagation. Now we are in 5th chapter, Antennas. In earlier class we started antennas. We discussed principle of antenna, what is radiation pattern, isotropic and its radiation pattern, elementary doublet, its radiation pattern, half wave dipole, its radiation pattern, and important terms related to antenna: power gain, directivity, beam width, and radiation resistance. And we have left with front to back ratio of an antenna and antenna impedance polarization. Right? Just I will revise what is antenna. Antenna is a radiating element and which is essential for wireless communication, and in wireless communication system transmitter and as well as receiver require antennas. For transmission you require antenna, whereas receiver also you require antenna. Without antenna the radio waves cannot travel through the free space, because for free space electromagnetic waves are compulsory. Hence antenna converts electrical signal into electromagnetic waves and vice versa. Transmitting antenna converts electrical signal coming from the transmitter into EM waves, whereas receiving antenna converts EM waves into electrical signal coming from free space. Here antenna is acting like matching device between free space as well as your transmitter or receiver. And for every antenna, or for analyzing any antenna, you need a reference antenna, that is isotropic antenna, which is a hypothetical antenna or ideal antenna. The characteristics of isotropic antenna is radiates equal uniformly all directions. Hence the radiation pattern looks like a sphere, and a two-dimensional radiation pattern is a circle. This is your radiation pattern, right? What is radiation pattern? Radiation pattern is graphical representation of a performance of antenna between either power density or field intensity and as well as direction. So it is a graph drawn between power density versus direction or electric field intensity versus direction. There are two types of radiation pattern: power density radiation pattern as well as electric field strength radiation pattern. Elementary doublet is also a ideal antenna, but its length is almost very small compared to its wavelength. So generally antenna dimensions are measured by using wavelengths. Its radiation pattern is down at figure of 8. Half wave dipole. Half wave dipole is one in which the length of the antenna is half of the wavelength. As we know, every antenna is dimensioned by its wavelength depending upon the frequency given to it, and frequency is 1 GHz. Corresponding to 1 GHz the wavelength will be around 3 mm or 30 centimeters. For that, to radiate, the minimum length of the conductor should be at least lambda by 4 from the concept of modulation. Hence if the length of the antenna is lambda by 2, then that is called half wave dipole. In half wave dipole, it's a pair of two quarter wave dipoles and each having a length of lambda by 4, right? And the impedance of half wave dipole is 73 ohms. Gain of antenna. Gain, there are two types of gains. One is direct gain, another one is power gain. Sometimes direct gain is also called as directivity. In directive gain, it is the ratios of power densities of subject antenna as well as isotropic antenna. The maximum directive gain is known as directivity, whereas power gain is nothing but 4 pi times of radiated power as well as transmitted power given to the antenna. Total input power, radiation intensity divided by total input power. Beam width is angular separation between two first nulls or two half power points of a antenna is known as beam width. Is measured in angle or in degrees or radians. What is radiation resistance? Radiation resistance is defined as power transmitted by square of the current, where power radiated or transmitted by the antenna, RMS value of the input current to the antenna. That is called your radiation resistance. For example, there is an antenna to which you are giving some amount of power. The amount of power is nothing but voltage given into current run by that antenna divided by RMS value of the input current, square of the RMS value of the input current. Incidental antenna contains impedance, that means both reactive and active components. The active component is radiation resistance, reactive component is reactance. So antenna impedance, the real part of antenna impedance is radiation resistance. It is not a DC resistance, it is a AC resistance. Power radiated by input square of the input cover given to the antenna. Front to back ratio, it is very simple. It is defined as the ratio of power radiated in the desired direction to the power radiated in the undesired direction, opposite direction. Front to back ratio, front means desired direction, back means opposite direction. Amount of radiated power in the front direction divided by amount of power radiated in the back direction or opposite direction is known as front to back ratio. Antenna impedance. What is antenna impedance? The impedance of antenna measured at the terminals where transmission line is carrying RF power from transmitter is called antenna input impedance. As the RF power carried by the transmission from the transmitter drives the antenna input impedance can alternatively called as driving point impedance. So the antenna impedance is also called as driving point impedance. Antenna impedance acts as load to the transmission line driving antenna. Antenna impedance has a load for the transmission line. It is also called as driving point impedance. Antenna impedance is a complex quantity, both real and imaginary. Here there is a diagram. This is antenna. It is a single antenna where two terminals have been taken, that is connected to transmitter via a feeder line or transmission line. And if you measure those terminals at the terminals of a transmission line, that is called antenna impedance. Entire antenna can be represented by a lumped element called ZL, which is nothing but antenna impedance. So for transmission line, the antenna impedance acts as a load, as the power is driving the antenna, hence it is also called as driving point impedance. Current estimation is parabola. Current is maximum at the middle of the antenna, whereas minimum at the edges of the antennas, whereas voltage is minimum at the middle of the antenna, whereas is maximum at the ends of the antenna. So antenna is a metallic rod. The antenna impedance of half wave dipole is 73 ohms plus J 42.45 ohms, where RR is the radiation resistance, X is the self reactance of antenna. Antenna polarization. What do you mean by antenna polarization? The next parameter of antenna is, till now we covered power gain, directivity, antenna impedance, radiation resistance, front to back ratio. Next, antenna polarization. It's very simple. Already we discussed polarization of a signal or EM wave in wave propagation. The orientation of electric field vector of an EM wave with reference to earth surface is known as polarization. Here antenna polarization is nothing but the orientation of electric field of EM wave generated by the antenna with respect to earth surface is known as polarization. Antenna polarization refers to the direction of electric field vector to the EM wave radiated from the antenna in space. So finally, polarization gives the orientation of electric field vector, how it is aligned, how it is oriented, what is the direction of electric field vector with respect to earth, because earth is the reference. If electric field is parallel to the earth, then it is called parallelly polarized antenna or horizontally polarized antenna. If electric field vector is vertical to the earth surface, then it is vertically polarized antenna. The direction of antenna and its polarization is same. So the direction of antenna, the polarization should be same. That means a horizontally mounted antenna radiates horizontally polarized waves, vertically mounted antenna polarized vertically polarized waves. This diagram will give you this is vertically polarized, something like a rope. When a rope is waved, the fashion in which the rope moves is vertical polarization. The horizontal polarization is one. In this, the path traced by a snake, it's called horizontal polarization. The orientation is also horizontal. Next, need of folded dipole. Why we are going for folded dipole? So till now we discussed isotropic antenna, elementary doublet, folded dipole, not half wave dipole, right? So the other names of isotropic antenna is omnidirectional antenna. The other name of elementary Hertzian dipole. So need for folded dipole is in general we evolved with antennas like isotropic, elementary doublet. Finally we reached half wave dipole. The disadvantage of half wave dipole is its radiation resistance is 73 ohms. The 73 ohms resistance of half wave dipole is not matched with the impedance of free space. The reason is the impedance of free space is 190, 120 pi, that is 377 ohms, whereas the impedance of half wave dipole is only 73 ohms. Hence the 73 ohms and 73 ohms and this 293 ohms are not matched. Let us say there is an antenna. There is an antenna which is radiating the signal, and here there is a receiver. This antenna is radiating signal like this. Okay, here there is a free space which is acting like medium and which connects transmitter as well as receiver. The impedance of free space is Z or ZF, I can say ZF, whereas the impedance of antenna is ZA. As per fundamental theory of your maximum power transfer theorem, to transfer total power from source to load, the impedance should be equal. The impedance should be equal. That means the antenna impedance should be equal to the impedance of free space. The antenna impedance is only just 73 ohms, whereas the free space impedance is 377 ohms, right? Hence these two are not matched, right? This antenna, this is the receiver, this is an antenna. Its resistance is 73 ohms, its resistance is 377 ohms, which are not equal. Hence you require a special antenna whose impedance is approximately equal to 377 ohms. 377 ohms. That is why the half wave dipole can be converted into folded dipole by using two half wave dipoles. When two half wave dipoles are joined one another, the impedance becomes 292 ohms, which is almost equal to 377 ohms. So that is the reason we are going for folded dipole. So to satisfy the impedance of free space, a special antenna called folded dipole is taken, whose impedance is almost equal to impedance of free space. So there is a mismatch of impedance between half wave dipole and folded dipole, half wave dipole and free space. Hence a folded dipole is taken. The formation of folded dipole is in such a way that a half wave dipole is arranged and parallelly one more half wave dipole is also arranged, and its radiation pattern is downward. That is figure of 8. So it is a modified version of half wave dipole. It is a single antenna but consists of two elements. The first is fed directly from the source. The second is conductively coupled at the ends. A folded dipole consists of two half wave dipoles which are folded and joined together. Right? That is about your folded dipole. Advantage is high input impedance, large bandwidth. Applications wide band antenna, and folded dipole is used as Yagi-Uda antenna also. Right? So that is about folded dipole. I will explain with a diagram. So there is one half wave dipole. To this half wave dipole, transmitter is connected by using a transmission line, and one more half wave dipole is taken, and which are joined. Right? This is half wave dipole 1. This is half wave dipole 2. So these two are joined, and these terminals are feeding point, and this is your transmission line or feeder line. Okay. Second, this half wave dipole 2 is directly connected to the source via transmission line, whereas half wave dipole 1 is not directly connected, it is coupled by using magnetic induction. So whenever electric current is given to second half wave dipole, when current flows through this conductor, it develops magnetism or magnetic field. This field couples to this first half wave dipole. So this half wave dipole is not directly connected to the transmitter, right? So in this way, it's a combination of, it's a single antenna containing two half wave dipoles. The impedance is increased by 4 times. The impedance of single half wave dipole is 73 ohms. It is multiplied by 4 times, it is increased, then it becomes 292 ohms, 292 ohms, which is almost equal to your free space impedance, right? So that is the need of your folded dipole. As the half wave dipoles are folded, hence it is called folded dipole. Next, antenna array. What is the need of antenna array? Sometimes in communication system, single antenna is not sufficient to transmit the signal. So that is why instead of using single antenna, many antennas are used, which is known as antenna array. It is a system of many antennas or combination of many antennas, such that the problems or disadvantages arising in single antenna can be overcome. If at all, if a single antenna is not or unable to transmit the signal in a particular direction, or having less bandwidth or having less beam width, whereas the multiple antennas combinedly, they serve the purpose, right? So that is why instead of using single antenna, antenna arrays are used. Array means combination of many antennas. In the point-to-point communication, it is desired to have most of energy radiated in one particular direction. That means it is desired to have greater directivity in a desired direction. This is not possible with a single element which have lower directivity. In order to increase directivity gain in a particular direction, an antenna array is used. Let's say there are two types of communication. One is broadcast communication and point-to-point communication. Broadcast communication covers many users, whereas point-to-point communication covers only one person to one person, that is one transmitter and only one receiver. In that case, there should be confined radiation to a particular receiver. So you need more directed radiation or focused radiation. So for that, you require more directive gain. That is not possible by single antenna. With the help of single antenna, the radiation pattern will be in more directions or in different directions, or it is bulged. So to have a pencil like beam, to have focused beam, to have a focused radiation, an antenna array is used. Array is the radiating system in which several antennas are spaced properly so as to get greater field strength at a far distance from the radiating system. The purpose of antenna is to get focused radiation at a far distance, and it contains several antennas. The total field produced by antenna array at a distance point from it is the vector sum of fields produced by the individual radiators of a antenna array. The antenna array is set to linear. So there are two types of antennas. One is linear array, non-linear array, and uniform array, non-uniform array. So linear array means if antenna, the elements of antenna array are equally spaced, then that is called linear array. The antenna elements are equally spaced. The gap between each antenna is same. In case of linear, non-linear means the gap is not same, not equal. It is sometimes increasing, sometimes decreasing, sometimes increases by logarithmic fashion also. That is called non-linear array. If the gap between the antennas are not equal, that is called non-linear. Uniform, non-uniform. If the elements are fed with equal currents, that is called uniform array. Unequal currents, that is called non-uniform array. So in our syllabus there are three arrays. One is broadside array, end fire array, and binomial array. And there is one more array, Yagi-Uda. That is also one of the important array. What do you mean by broadside array? So this is one of the example for antenna array. If you look at this diagram, so there are 5 half wave dipoles and which are joined in a crossed fashion, but the leftmost half wave dipole is connected to transmitter using a feeder line. The gap between any two radiators is same. The name is because the radiation generated by the broadside array is more along the broader side and less along the axis, or less along its side. Okay, let's say there is a plane of antenna array. So I'll draw the diagram so that you can understand. Let's say this is a plane of antenna array. If the radiation is broader side, this is narrow side, and whereas this above and below is the broader side. If the radiation is more on the broader side, then that is called broadside array. So this is the example for broadside array. Here the gap between any two elements is indicated by d and its length is lambda by 2. These are called radiators or dipoles. Antenna axis, antenna elements. Direction is maximum along perpendicular to the plane of the antenna array. So if you look at the characteristics of broadside array, number of dipoles of equal size are equally spaced along the straight line. All dipoles are fed with same phase from same source. The following points are worth. Here the number of dipoles are arranged with equal in size and with equal in gap, and they are fed with same source and with same phase also. The cross connection is because when you connect directly, because of lambda by 2 distance, there is a phase shift of 180 degrees and they will be cancelled. That is why if you cross connect, that is plus 2 minus or minus 2 plus, the 180 degrees produced by the gap between the antennas will be avoided. This is the radiation pattern. Look at this. This axis of antenna array, more major lobes on below and above of antenna axis, that is along the broader side. The length may be 2 to 10 lambda. The number of elements to be used depends on beam width requirement and cost space. Number of elements increase, beam width will be increasing. And the radiation pattern is maximum the right angles, whereas very little on its plane. In its plane or axis of the antenna is very less, whereas perpendicular or right angles antenna plane it's more. End fire array, it is just opposite of your broadside. In broadside array, the radiation is more on the broader side or right angles of the plane, whereas end fire array, there is more radiation pattern along the axis, or there is no radiation, there is less radiation along broader side, or it generates a pencil like beam. So they are also equally sized, and physical arrangement of elements in end fire array is same as the all the elements are usually separated by lambda by 4. They are separated by lambda by 4, whereas in broadside is lambda by 2. The magnitude of the current in each element is still same as the other element, but there is no phase difference between these currents. This progressive, this is progressive from left to right. As the gap is lambda by 4 between any two radiators, the lambda by 4 plus lambda by 4, the angle will be increasing from first radiator to secondary radiator. Hence, there is a progressive increment in the phase shift because of path gap. We are dealing with high frequencies. Amplitude same. And radiation pattern is like this. This is the radiation pattern. This is the arrangement. So there are 5 antenna radiators. They are equally spaced with a gap of lambda by 4, and they are connected directly without any cross because the gap is lambda by 4, which does not produce any out of phase or 1 degree space. Rhombic antenna. What is rhombic antenna? It's a non-resonant antenna. That means the antenna is terminated with a matched impedance, because as we know, the need of Foley dipole to satisfy the equality of the impedances between free space and antenna. In half wave dipole, it is not satisfied because its resistance is 73 volt, whereas free space is 377. Similarly, if an antenna is not able to match its impedance with free space, a matched load is connected physically with the antenna its output, so that the antenna will radiate entire power to the free space because the antenna is matched with its properly fixed matched load. Containing many half wave dipoles, it is called broadband antenna, suitable for HF frequencies 3 to 30 MHz. Ideally suitable for HF transmission as well as reception. It is popular antenna in commercial point-to-point communication. And we look at now. We can look at the diagram of rhombic antenna. Just if you look at the rhombic antenna, so there are 4 dipoles, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 are arranged in the shape of rhombus, and it is called rhombic antenna. As the elements are connected with matched load to overcome reflections, to overcome maximum power transfer problem. It is also called as diamond antenna. It's a combination of two inverted V antennas connected in series. Each of the side of the rhombus is forming like a leg of rhombic antenna. The length of legs are 2 lambda to 8 lambda. There are 4 legs. The ends of 2 legs is connected to transmitter by a feeder line. The other ends of these 2 antennas are connected to other 2 antenna ends are connected to matched load RL. It's correctly terminated. This is the arrangement of rhombic antenna. This is A1 is the first. These are the 2 and 3 antennas. This is first antenna, second antenna, third antenna, fourth antenna. The 2 ends of left side antennas are connected to transmitter. The 2 other ends of right side of antennas are connected to matched load. And combined radiation, each half wave dipole depends. Each one represents a different radiation pattern, whereas if you combine all the radiation patterns, the output would be a pencil-like beam. This is the pencil-like beam. Very less side lobes and there is no back lobe. and it produces a unidirectional radiation pattern. The rhombic antenna produces unidirectional radiation pattern. And it is in the plane of rhombus. It is not perpendicular to the plane of rhombus, it is along the plane of rhombus, the radiation. Directivity is very high. Impedance is also 650 to 700 ohms. So this is about your rhombic antenna. The properties of rhombic antenna is 20 to 90 is the directivity, the plane of the up to 82. Impedance of rhombic antenna is 650 to 750 ohms. So till now we discussed need of array, need of folded dipole, types of arrays, broadside array, end fire array, and rhombic antenna. For broadside array, the radiation pattern is perpendicular to the axis of the antenna, whereas in end fire array it is along the axis of antenna. The rhombic antenna will be using, it consists of 4 antennas, elements arranged in such a way that there should be inverted V, and the ends of 2 radiators are connected to transmitter via transmission, and the other 2 ends of the other elements are connected to matched load, that is non-resonant antenna. And each antenna will be producing 2 major lobes along its axis. Finally, the combined radiation pattern is more focused radiation pattern along the axis and less no radiation pattern on back side of your radiation pattern. This I'll stop. We'll revise what are the different topics in covered till now in 5th chapter, right? Principle of antenna, what is radiation pattern, isotropic antenna, elementary doublet, half-wave dipole, radiation pattern, power gain, directivity, beam width, radiation resistance, front to back ratio, antenna impedance, polarization, need for folded dipole. What is the need of folded dipole? Need of antenna array. So these are the 9 topics we covered. Next we will discuss concept of grounding in the next class. Concept of grounding we will discuss in the next class. We discuss 11th topic also, broadside identifier array, rhombic antenna, and the very important part of this chapter is Yagi antenna, Yagi-Uda antenna. So that will be discussed in the next class, right? What is Yagi antenna? What is it antenna or antenna array? Style antenna, binomial array, need, parabolic reflector arrangements, helical antenna. What is mobile antenna? Principle of working of DTH, application of dish antenna. So we covered around 12 topics. There are 10 more topics left in our syllabus. Those will be discussed in the next class. Antenna working principle depends on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. A radiation pattern is a graphical representation of power density and direction. Isotropic antenna is a hypothetical antenna. It radiates equal uniformly in all directions. Its radiation pattern is Darnot or figure of 8. After that, elementary doublet. In this, the length of antenna is very far less than operating neuron, that is called element doublet, which is also impossible to design like your isotropic. And power gain. Before power gain, first you know directive gain and directivity. Generally gains are two types, one is directive gain and the other one is power gain. Antenna is also known as aerial, which is the radiating part of wireless communication system. Power gain is the ratio of 4 pi times of power radiated by input power given. Maximum directive gain. Directive gain is the ratio of power densities of subject antenna and isotropic antenna. Beam width, the angular separation between the two firsternal beam width 3 dB points are half power points. It's called half power beam width. Radiation resistance is the power radiated by the square of the current given to it, RMS value. Front to back ratio, the radiation in the desired direction and opposite direction. This ratio is known as front to back ratio. Antenna impedance is a complex quantity which consists of both real quantity as well as imaginary quantity. more radiation at the peak of the top of dipole was less at the ends of the radiation pattern. Polarization is the orientation of electric field vector of a EM wave generated by a particular transmitter. Here the position and alignment of antenna should be same as the orientation of electric field vector. If an antenna is to produce horizontally polarized wave, the antenna should be horizontal with respect to earth. Generally, orientation of the electric field vector is taken with reference to earth only. After that, we discussed antenna array is to have focused beam, to have focused radiation or point-to-point communication. Antenna array is essential. Polar dipole to satisfy the impedance of free space with antenna. Two half-wave dipoles are taken which are folded one another to produce approximately 292 ohms. Broadside array is an array which radiates more on the broader side, that is perpendicular to the axis of the broadside array. They are equally spaced, equally length, lambda by 2 is the gap, means there is a cross connection. In end-fire array, it radiates in the access side only one direction. There is no back lobes. Rhombolic antenna is arranged in such that 4 antennas are arranged. Ramesh. Thank you. Have a nice